Someone has never been told no before. This is an old one, but it's stuck in my mind as an example of the overprivilege some people have. Hopefully I haven't embellished it too much in the subsequent years of retelling. I'm mobile. Apologies for any formatting errors. I'm working as an assistant manager in a shop in the weeks following Christmas one year. We have a display of boxed chocolates and other sweet gifts. There is an older lady perusing the selection as I'm tidying shelves, checking stock levels, etc. When I hear a loud, very posh voice. "Excuse me, you there? Can I help, madam?" "Yes, I'm looking for a box of chocolates." "Anything in particular?" "Well, just something to replace these." She had with her, in her hand, a box of chocolates that we sold, that much I could see. I mentioned that I'd be happy to help her find a replacement. I knew these weren't exclusive to us and could be found elsewhere locally, so I asked if she had her receipt. "But no," she replied haughtily, "I didn't buy them. They were a gift and my grandchildren told me they bought them here." Okay, that shouldn't be a problem. We're a small town, and I would normally recognize the customer. But we have a few well-off, older people that rarely visit the local shops, and I thought I'd give her the benefit of the doubt. She was a bit superior, but I was determined to be professional and polite. "May I just ask, what's the problem with the chocolates you are returning?" I asked. "There's nothing wrong with them. I just don't like them." It was at this point I became a little suspicious. "I'm sorry, could I just see which ones they are?" It was at this point, when she held the box out, I could see that they had been opened, the seal broken and the inner packaging loose. "I'm sorry, madam," I told her, "this box has been opened. I can't accept a return if the product isn't faulty." "Well, of course it's open. I had to try them. That's how I know I don't like them." "But there's nothing actually wrong with them. They're not moldy or contaminated." "No, I just don't like them." Her condescending tone was starting to get to me. "I'm sorry, madam. I won't be able to accept these for return, as the product was in good condition when we sold them and they've been open since." "This is atrocious. How am I supposed to know if I like something if I can't open it? I will not be shopping here again." And with that, she stormed out. This might have carried some weight if she had actually ever deigned to shop here in the first place. The audacity to ask for a replacement for a food product that had been in perfectly good condition, until she had partially eaten it and that she hadn't paid for in the first place. True to her word, we never saw her again.
Lady tells me that my shoe store doesn't sell enough real shoes. I work at a big chain shoe store that is kind of biased about what it sells. It's predominantly women's shoes, with men's shoes shoved into a few rows on the left side and the small kids section. We sell about half athletic shoes and half everything else because most of our major suppliers are brands like Nike, Adidas, and such. This lady in her late 40s, early 50s comes in and makes a beeline for the back right corner where our women's heels and formal shoes are. She's back there for a good 20 minutes and didn't seem to need help, and wasn't suspicious in any way, so I didn't pay much attention to her. Finally, she comes up to the counter with a pair of heeled loafers. I ring her up normally and we're chatting. She seemed a little annoyed, but I didn't really think much of it until, "Lady, you guys need to sell more real shoes." "Me? What do you mean by real shoes?" She points to her ugly loafers she's buying. "Lady, you need more shoes like these. Sneakers, flip-flops, boots, none of those are real shoes. You need to sell ones that are smart and practical." I just went along with it because she was getting agitated and I didn't want to deal with a pissed-off customer. Me, I do wish we had a better selection of heels, but that we get inventory based on what sells the most, and that's athletic shoes. She just rolled her eyes at me and huffed. I finished the transaction and bag up the shoes. As she's walking out the door, though, she just had to get the last word in. "Lady, just sell real shoes." So, yeah, news flash. Any other shoe besides ugly loafers aren't real and aren't practical. Sorry to break it to you.
TLDR. Can I return these worn panties and throw a fit? No. I work in a store that sells manly clothes and some home decor. I'm an assistant manager at the time. Lady comes in right after Christmas with a bag full of bras and panties that didn't fit her niece after she tried them on. Now, in my store we have a no-return policy on intimates, underwear, and bras, and it is displayed by signs on all the bra and panty racks and at the front desk. We also remind the customers that are buying as gifts of the no-return policy and point to the sign at the desk. We can be a little relaxed on the bras if they still have all the tags on them and look like they were bought yesterday, but it's an absolute no on panties. This lady had 7 pairs of panties and 3 bras she wanted to return, no tags, way past the 30-day return policy, and she had just admitted they had been worn. I did the polite, "I'm sorry, ma'am, but we have a no-return policy on intimates, and your receipt says it's past the 30-day return date as well by policy. I can't do anything." Well, these were a Christmas gift, and they didn't work out, so I need to return them. She was starting to go Karen as she slams her large wallet on the counter. "I'm sorry, ma'am, but it's against store policy for me to do a return on worn intimates that are also past the 30-day return date. I am being as polite as I can here." "You mean you won't give me my money back?" She is exasperated and throws the panties in her hand onto the counter, and they slide so far they almost fall off the other side. I grimace at her and shrug an "I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do" expression. "But you have to give me my money back. I can't use these. She didn't even wear them. Is there a manager I can talk to?" She starts to get irate and shoves the bras at me next. "Ma'am, I'm a manager. There are no tags on these. They have been worn. You said your niece tried them on to find out they didn't fit. This is, I look at the date on the receipt, a month and a half past the 30-day return period. But you have to..." She starts to get loud, looking around for sympathy from other customers who are actually trying to avoid eye contact with her. "If I make this return, I could lose my job due to the health code violation alone. So no, I will not do this return. In fact, here is my store manager now, the boss lady. We don't do returns on worn intimates, right?" My store manager, best manager I have ever had the pleasure of working for, walks up to the desk after coming back from her lunch and stares this clearly angry Karen down. "Well, we don't. We even have signs everywhere saying we don't. And if you're going to argue with my assistant manager, you can kindly leave. This is ridiculous. Do you guys see this?" The lady looks around to try to pull another customer into her side, but everyone has literally decided to be interested in merchandise as far away from her as they can get. She throws a handful of the panties at me and huffs and grumbles and shouts really as she trudges out the door of our shop. Later, my darling store manager says I would have given her corporate's number to complain to if she wanted. John loves any opportunity to talk shop and ask what really happened. "You know, I used to buy hay for my horses from him." Ed, wow, thanks guys. I didn't think this would get that many upvotes overnight. And to clarify a few things for people asking, these were nicer individual panties and some with matching bras that this lady bought. The simulated silk kind, and she had to pick them out individually because they did not come in a pack. John is indeed from corporate, and my store manager had known him for over 9 years. She opened the store I work at when it was first built, so she's seen it all and takes no crap from anyone anymore. I love her. Thank you all. I can't wait to tell y'all more stories.
Check out my other splendid videos.